Hi, welcome to Math Today. We are going to be reviewing some division vocab that we started working on a while ago. We are also going to continue practicing what we started yesterday. So, if you are struggling with the ideas from yesterday, please, no panicking, deep breath before your lesson. We're going to keep practicing, okay? All right, before we get into that, we're going to do a little bit of review. So up at the top, this is our division vocab, okay? These are the terms you need to know, all the parts of a division problem. So I think the easiest one that most of us do know, we know that the quotient is the answer, okay? The quotient is the answer to a division problem. So I'm going to go ahead and circle quotient. And now we know we can write division in multiple ways. Here's one way. Here's another way. There's actually even more ways than that, but we'll just stick with that for today. So our quotient in this problem, the answer, we know we always write the answers on the top. That's our quotient. And on this problem, the answer is on the other side of this equal sign right there. So those are our quotients, okay? If you don't have that memorized, you need to memorize it, okay? Quotient is the answer to a division problem. All right, and then second, we have got a dividend, okay? The dividend is the number that you are dividing. So on both problems, it's a 15, okay? So the dividend, if you're thinking about division as multiplication, would be the answer to the multiplication problem, okay? The large number of your division problem. So it's the number that we are breaking apart. So my dividend on this problem is under the bracket, and on this problem, it's the first number, okay? It's always the first number that you are breaking apart, your largest number. And that leaves us with our divisor. All right, our divisor is the number of groups that we are trying to create, okay? So the divisor is this number on the outside over here, or on this type of a problem, it's the number that you are dividing from your total. All right, so if you need work with that, you might want to freeze the screen, practice. You don't need to know how to spell these words, but if you see them on a test and it asks you to identify the dividend or find a quotient, you need to know what the words mean so you can follow the directions. Okay? So just a quick review on that. If you need to study and practice it further, maybe you should take some notes and keep working on it. Okay? All right. So go ahead, get your whiteboards ready if you don't have it out. And we are going to do some more division problems with remainders. All right, so our first problem today is 17 divided by 2. All right, now if you were here, the first thing I would ask you is, what's your first thought here? Looking at our dividend, can I skip count by 2s to get to a 17? Is 17 a multiple of 2? No, I know that because of the 7 here in the ones place. It's an odd number. Okay, odd numbers you cannot split up evenly. So does that mean we know we're going to have a remainder? Yes, it does. All right. So for this problem, I'm going to show you without skip counting how I think this through in my head. How many 2s go into 17 without going over? We always follow the Price is Right rules. You can't go over. Well, I know that 2 times 8 would be 16, and 2 times 9 would be 18. So 2 times 9 is too many, so 2 times 8 is what's going to have to fit. I can fit 2 groups of 8 without going over 17, okay? But we already know that this won't be split up evenly because it's an odd number. So let's go ahead and see what we have left over. So if I do have 8 times 2, I'll have 16. And then I subtract to find out what my remainder will be. 7 minus 6 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. And we know we always have to send that remainder on a vacation. Take it right up here. So 8 groups of 2 will go into 17 with 1 left over, which makes sense, okay? Because I know 2 times 8 is 16. So I can make 2 groups of 8, but then I have 1 lonely leftover number that won't fit into an equal group of 2. All right, go ahead and erase your boards. Get ready for the next one. All right, this time let's do 14 divided by 4. Before I start the problem, I'm thinking about it. Got my math brain turned on. Will 4 go into 14 evenly? Well, I know my 4s, and I know that 14 is not a multiple of 4. Okay, I can even show you. If I write it out, 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay, 14's not in that list, and I've already gone past it. Okay, so this is too many. So, how many groups of 4 do I need to make 12? 1, 2, 3. 3 times 4 is 12. So I put my 3 up here for my third group. And then I know 3 times 4 is 12. Write it below and subtract in order to find out what leftover we've got for our remainder. 4 minus 2 is 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay, we have to send the 2 up here. So our answer is 3 with 2 left over. 3 remainder 2. All right, go ahead, erase your boards. All right, this time I'm going to slow down a little bit, and hopefully you at home can kind of come to the answer with me. This one, 66 divided by 9. 66 divided by 9. All right, well, if I'm thinking about my math facts and my multiples of 9, if I skip count it all the way through, I would not hit a 66 perfectly, okay? That is not a multiple of 9. So I know that I am going to have a remainder, okay? So if you need to write out your skip counting, I'll give you time to do that. If you don't need to do that, go ahead and see if you can solve the problem. So if I skip count by 9s, I've got 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, so if you're skip counting like me, I'm realizing that 8 groups of 9, which is 42, or 72, excuse me, that is larger than the number that we have as our dividend. So that won't work. So 63 is as close as we can get without going over. All right, now how many groups of 9 make 63? If you know your math facts, you know it's 9 times 7. If you don't, you have to count your groups, and you'd still find that it was 7. Okay, 7 times 9 is 63. Now let's see what we've got left over. 6 minus 3 is 3. 6 minus 6 is 0. This 3 has to go up here. So our answer is 7, remainder 3. 3 left over that wouldn't fit even. All right. Nice job. Got a few more to do. All right, how about 11 divided by 3? 11 divided by 3. All right, well, I'm really good at my 3s, and I know it's 3, 6, 9, 12. 12's too many, right? 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, too bad it's not a 12, it's 1 less. So 12 won't work. So the closest number without going over, multiple of 3 would be 9. So how many groups is that? 1, 2, 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And then I subtract. Remember, this subtraction is the same as normal subtraction. So if I have a number 1, taking 9 out of it, I can't do that, right? You can't do it here either. So you do borrow from the tens place. So this 1 will become a 0. This one becomes an 11. 11 minus 9 is 2. It's kind of hard to see that one. There is a 1 up there. 11 minus 9 is 2. So don't forget, if you leave your remainder down here at the bottom, your teachers won't know that it's there and you might have it counted wrong. So you have to write it up here. That is your complete answer. Okay? Also known as your quotient, right? All right, now let's try one that's a little bit different, just to remind you What happens if you don't have a remainder? So this time, let's do 5 divided by 1. All right. Well, if we are thinking about math like normal, 5 divided into one group, I know my answer will be 5, right? 5 times 1 is 5. And I have 0 remainder, right? But on your homework assignment that you're about to do next, your practice, you will have a box above each problem for your whole number, and then there's a little R, and then you have a second box. So what do you think needs to go into that remainder box if I don't have a remainder? You need to put a 0 in there, okay? If you leave it blank, the computer's going to count it wrong. So 5, remainder 0. There were none left over. All right. We have one more problem to complete, and then you're going to practice. All right. Last problem. 7 divided by 5. You might be thinking, well, these are really small problems. Well, in my experience, some of these smaller problems have caused the most difficulty, okay? But you approach them exactly the same way. How many 5s will go into a 7 without going over? I can skip count with 5s. We followed the exact same process. 5, 10. Oh, I'm already over, right? So I can't do 10. That's too big. So only one group of 5 will fit into 7. Only one. Okay, so I put a 1 up here. 1 times 5 is 5. And I subtract, just like always. 7 minus 5 is a 2. So my answer, 7 divided by 5, 1, remainder 2. All right, and I want to take a chance real quick, since our numbers are small, to really show you what this means. All right, I have 7 triangles. Okay, there they are, 7 triangles. What this problem is asking me to do is to divide 7 triangles into groups of 5 evenly. Okay, I want them into groups of 5. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can circle this and put them in a group. But I have these 2 left over that wouldn't fit in a group of 5. If I had 3 more triangles, this would work, right? And my problem would be 10 divided by 5. But I don't. So these numbers right here, that's the one group of 5 in our answer. And the remainder 2, well, that's these 2 left out guys, okay? We don't have enough to put them into a group of 5. That's why they're left over. All right, you could draw this out for every problem you ever do in division. The problem is it just, the numbers get big and it's hard to see it. Okay, so remember, when you're splitting things up into groups, all we want is even groups. And your remainder are the left out numbers that couldn't fit into a group of that size. All right, so that is your math lesson today. Your practice looks very similar to that you had yesterday. If you're having trouble with this, rewatch the lessons, okay? It'll help you. And you can always make your own problems and keep practicing, okay? Just don't make them too big. All right, thank you all for trying your best today. I will see you soon.